Pablo Torre, we don't want no problems. No problems at all. Leave us alone.
First took away. That's the best. Get your money's worth now.
Welcome to another episode of Propels Talk. I'm your host here, Chris Connor. We got some of my favorite people here to pod with, of course, on and off the mic. We got my dog Cheddar Chaz here. We got my dog Lito. We got Five in the building here. We got the chat as always. Michael Morgan contributing early, man, as always, man. What up, man? Dog? Keeping the lights on, man. Cole,
like
what's up with you?
Man.
Yeah, man. Well,
hey.
not all mailmen. Good one.
Oh yeah, not that mail guy.
This is a basketball show. But shout out to all the good people that support us here, man. Me and Lito had a fun conversation about supporting Taz, man. And John Deere. Yeah, so I mean, we got the hat on, we got the shirt, merch on, the blue moon behind us in the background here. Follw boy, what's up with you, man? We got Sunshine as always. We got Theos. We got Scott Vicknair. You name it, you could find it here. And we also got FanDuel.
Yeah.
Also got FanDuel, which is actually the perfect segue here because tomorrow is the start of football season, NFL season, that is. And I think it's a perfect time to go a little bit further into a conversation about the football city narrative of New Orleans that's been around for, let's say, about 5 years, maybe now, or maybe longer. Talk a little bit about the history of it, what changes, if it can be changed, is it a real thing? We got some clips from previous shows. We got Five's rant, and we got all of y'all in attendance. So whether you are on Twitter right now watching live, X, I'm sorry, Lito, whether you on X, whether you watching on YouTube, man, please at some point hit that like button. Come holler at us on YouTube, leave a comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? So you can get the bell notification in the top of the screen when we go live. All right. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into the conversation here, man. So Lito, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
This conversation, and we talked about it in previous shows over the off season. I first want to ask, do you think the narrative of New Orleans being a football city, like where did it even come from? Where did it start?
Where did it come? I mean, the Saints. So like, it's the Pelicans / Hornets. Like they were taken from one place into a new place. So much like anything you trying to give roots to soil to, it take a minute. It take a minute to get entrenched in the environment, especially when the Saints been around since what, the 60s,
late 60s.
Yeah. Like you got generations of people who only knew one thing. So to give them something new and to give them, I ain't gonna call it a bad product, but obviously it's still a non-winning product. It take a minute to do that, to acquiesce yourself to the situation. So that's where the narrative comes from, because also they have still not really given themselves a reason to be the prominent team.
So I want to point out, so the Saints became an NFL team in 1966.
66.
Okay. 66. Yeah. So it took them 24 years to win their first playoff game.
Jesus.
24 years.
Terrible.
Now, Chaz, I want to throw the ball to you here because I want to ask. So when I was growing up, I didn't know many Saints fans. I think for maybe my first 7 or 8 years on this earth, I wasn't a Saints fan. I think I was a Broncos fan. I was a Vikings fan. And then I think the year Jeff Blake came to New Orleans and was a quarterback, that's ironically the year that I became a Saints fan full throttle. But I remember 49ers fans. I remember Cowboys fans. I know 2 lifelong Jaguars fans. But I remember a time in the city when it wasn't a bunch of Saints fans. I remember a bunch of people saying, I'm not supporting, them them sorry Saints. I remember that. Do you have that same memory, or has it always been a thing, even in the early essence, the early days of the Hornets arriving, to where it's the city has been driven by football? Is that an actual thing?
First, shout out to Jeff Blake. Shout out to my Ravens doing our thing this season. We just signed JT Gray. Appreciate your Saints. But that being the case, for me personally, I've always been a Saints fan. My circle always been a Saints fan. Like my brother, he was a Brett Favre fan. That says a lot about him, his family ways. But he was more of a Brett Favre fan. But for me, I've always been a Saints fan. My family's always been Saints fans, right? But I'll say a larger indictment. I think I'm gonna piss a couple people off on this episode, but it's a larger indictment of the city, honestly. I think the Saints are a lot more. For one, you're in Southeast Louisiana, you're in the Gulf. A lot of like quality name brand players come from Louisiana, like who we had, Jake Delhomme. At one time, Jake Delhomme went on to the Carolina Panthers. You remember like the Aaron Brooks, you remember Joe Horn, you remember these names, even though these guys weren't necessarily star caliber players, they were name brand compared to what you were used to. Like you still got people talking about I don't want to throw him under the bus. I know Justin know everybody, but the dude who was stinking up the joint, the other Nepo guy. I don't put him out there, but the people that shoot arrows, I'll say that. The people that shoot arrows, girls get their eyebrows done this way, him, right? People still talking about what his family did. And to be honest, his family wasn't shit. Like in New Orleans, people wasn't shit. Yeah, we keeping it $1. Like, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't nothing special to write home about here. So I think it's the city rallying more around name brand teams and name brand players. That's why, like, when the Saints got Drew Brees, everybody was Saints fans. Katrina, of course, because you want to have, like Lito alluded to earlier, for us, being close to your roots. Katrina, of course, everyone was Saints fans. But before that, you know what I'm saying, they had, keeping it real, they had dolls of Aaron Brooks hanging on a noose at games. Literally, like this was a real thing. So I think once teams, the New Orleans specifically, get those name brand players and that name brand coach, and the team is winning, everyone's gonna jump on board. But for the regular schmegular casual fan, I think they're gonna go with whatever team won. The Chiefs, when Peyton went to the Broncos, the Patriots, you don't know what you're gonna see in New Orleans. 49ers flags. New Orleans got a little bit of every fan base, in my opinion, because this just go based on who's winning.
So, Five, you had an incredible rant, I want to say, a month ago, maybe a little bit over that, about you went into the financial element of it, and you went into the viewership perspective, and it being simply about winning, right? It being about, if you break it down to simply me supporting a product, who supports bad products consistently, especially if it isn't an overflow of money to necessarily go around, and you got to pick and choose where you decide to spend your coins at. I'm gonna play that rant, but when we get back, after the rant, I'm gonna ask you a question about your thoughts. And Pelicans are 23 years in. I mean, there's an argument that if you put up the Pelicans 23 versus the Saints 23, Pelicans really right there. It's the next wave, the 5 to 10 to 15 years after that, to change the superstar talent, the players in which the name brand that Chaz was talking about, where things change and a lot of perspective changes in the city. But here's 5 from a couple months ago.
People, have to pick and choose what they spend their money on somewhat wisely. Or you think they're just going to go to a Pelicans game? Like, oh, the Pelicans are playing tonight, let's just go. No. New Orleans is always like in the top 5 to top 10 in viewership of NBA basketball. You don't think those people want to go watch it in person? They just choose to watch the good stuff on TV Why would I leave the confines of my own home where I could just watch it on my 55 to 70-inch TV to go watch some bullshit in person? Bullshit indeed. Lito talked about the roots, right? And to piggyback off that, there's no tilling of the soil when it comes to the Pelicans. Right? The organization doesn't till the soil very well to uproot said culture to implement it. I mean, we just like sports in Louisiana. Louisiana is just a sports state in general. Like, there's athletes everywhere. The reason why you see an influx of football athletes is because we see good football talent, throughout the state. I mean, you've been watching LSU, let's say the last 20, 30 years. Why do you think all the talent now is kids watching LSU football and watching Saints football, and now they're really good at it, and then now they're the next wave of NFL players? You could possibly have that if you had really good basketball. Some of those players might play basketball, stick to playing basketball because they've seen good basketball. Why do you think most good basketball players either come from California or are they coming from the East Coast? Well, probably because they watch a lot of good basketball, college good basketball. But again, back to just the city and this organization. You really can say organization because it truly is one. They're really bad at it. They're really bad at marketing their own product. You would think that they would have some level of understanding of how to talk to their people, but they don't. They just depend on people being, this is my team, because if I don't support it, they're going to take it from me, rather than, holding this organization accountable for their lack of action, the lack of investment, when they have the funds to do so.
Lito, you want to say something?
Me and Justin did a list the other day, and it was it seemed really simple, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. It sparked because last week, I don't know what the Pelicans did. Me and Justin had a conversation about it, and I was like, "Oh, you know how many things you could do to ingratiate yourself around here, like just like really simple ideas." You called me yesterday, and we were just talking about it. I'm like, it's just a lot of things. I'm not gonna go through this. It's a lot of things that they could do to speak to what Follw said, because I was also talking to Justin about this. Y'all remember when you were like growing up, you could go watch I mean, it wasn't easily accessible, but they would have times where they would let you watch the basketball team practice. Like you could go watch, you know what I'm saying? Like kids don't even get to do that no more. Like you can't even really see how a professional practice.
Oh, I got this.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can't really see how a professional practice to even understand like the amount of repetition and like seriousness goes into it. I'm saying that to say, like with them, I don't know, maybe they need to shadow like a big, like a well-run organization, you know what I'm saying? Like an internship. I don't know.
I think too, because I was thinking about this earlier. This is an interesting topic, right? And so I did humor me for 1 second. I did this video a while ago, right? This was after the playoffs, and I got a bunch of shirts and shit. So I made this little video a while ago because I thought the tide was changing. I thought good things were on the horizon. Right? I was totally wrong. So, totally wrong. Couldn't have been more wrong. I think it's a combination of things. For one, I think the team don't recognize who they're dealing with. I think they think that they got this this loyalty and this cultural connection to the city the way the Saints have it. And it's like, no, you really don't have any goodwill with this fan base because, for one, you haven't been here as long as the Saints. For two, you never really won too much of anything. Most of your history is in Charlotte, like most of your positives is in Charlotte. And three, man, People gonna take it how they want. They were doing a lot of dick riding down here in the city, dog. It's a lot of dick riding. So I'm telling you, I didn't know this was a thing. You know, like I didn't know what a stand was, like until LeBron went back to the Cavaliers. They got people in the city who only LeBron fans, and I'm like, how you LeBron was in the East? He might come to the city 2 times a season. So how the fuck you LeBron? Like, how's you? Again, you go to the games. It could be the Pelicans playing the Thunder. Lakers jersey is gonna be in the building. Like it is like that's why if you're the Pelicans, it's like the only way to really ingratiate yourself is to win, and maybe that casual fan base will start to move towards you. Like we went to the game and the play-in and shit like that. Even in the playoffs, all the hoes was in the building. People you ain't never seen before. You're like, you don't go to no motherfucking game. You're not a fan like that. Like they got the clear heels on. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? The girls is working. But, generally, man, you can sit wherever you want in the motherfucking Pelicans game. And that's the thing, too. Even with the attendance, I did a little research. Now, the Pelicans are usually near the top of the NBA as far as attendance percentage of the arena field. But that's something they just I done been in the building. Motherfucker like, oh, we want to announce a sellout. But the fucking building echoing, sell out. You like, really? like, you know what I'm saying? They lying. So I think it's a 2 things. 1, I think they don't win. 2, your name brand players rarely show up. 3, they're not necessarily culturally connected to the city because most basketball fans are black. This is what it is, black. But they don't necessarily want that fan base necessarily. They kind of want more of the West End, the Slidell, the Metairie fan base. And it's like you're trying to appeal to that, but them people not coming to no motherfucking basketball games. Mm-hmm. I don't care how many sections you give the Chevron and sections you give the Shell. Those people not coming to no basketball games. Them people going to the Zurich Classic. Them people not watching no motherfucking basketball. Just keep it $1 with you. So that, and also a lot of it's just the city being like, no matter what you do, I just want something that's something else. I just want to be a part of the other thing. I'm not black. I'm mixed. I got Indian in my family. I'm something else. I'm Creole. Like I just want to be something else. So I just think that's a lot of the city.
Unless they're good, unless the product's good, right? Unless there's, but not even just that, Chaz. To Five's point as well. It's not even just a good product. It's the consistency of the product, right? I learned a lot about the amount of people that cared. I kept hearing when we first started Spaces on X, and shout out to all the people that on X that are here. I remember the amount of people that called themselves closeted Pelicans fans. And I was like, I kept hearing that. I'm like, y'all gotta find a different way to say that. Exactly. I'm like, y'all gotta find a different way to say that. But I kept hearing it. Like people was afraid to say that they were a Pelicans fan.
That's wow.
I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm just telling you what I heard during that period of time. Don't shoot me. I never said it, but it's what they said at the time. And then like the playing game that we talked about, with Chaz, the first mm-hmm. like real man. Again, right? That's like it's not even that long ago, but it feels so long ago. What was it? The Rusty Nail? Is that what?
Yeah, was that the Rusty Nail? Yeah.
Sold that bitch out. It was standing room. You couldn't sit down. People outside. WDSU pulled up. Other like just to talk about a Pelicans playing game. Nothing like that. That was it. It was before a playing game. They didn't even know if the mother was in the playoffs yet, but that's what was there. So it's like, it's people that really actually care. I talked to people, I heard the people. That's how we all got cool. This is in like the essence of Propel's talk. If y'all want to know, it's that period. Yeah. But the problem is, since then, what do you have? That was supposed to be a period where you got that next, like you were going into a real engine starter. You were going into a real era, not something that was here in 2 years and gone, not something that was here for 3 years and it was gone, like a real era. The next year, Zion comes back from the injury and everything golden until the beginning of January, and now you back to the same shit that you are used to. So, like, I think to continue what Chaz was saying, Five. There's a level of consistency that has to happen. The moments have to happen. And there's an alignment that needs to happen as well for any type of shift to ultimately happen.
Yeah, where's the goodwill going to come from, right? And I think Chaz was alluding to that. Like you haven't done anything to garner that. You've been the Pelicans have been piggybacking off of the Saints' goodwill, which is already ran through. So there's nothing to really stand on. Like, this is really swamp soil. Like you don't know where you at. You just kind of floating. You might step on an alligator, you might step on a snake, and that's what y'all been getting bit by. Y'all got like the news about the Smoothie King Center last year about getting possible renovate. Like this also brings me back to when y'all were talking about when the Saints were created, and it was 1966. Like it was the world's largest stadium. That's like indoor, like that was the bigger attraction. The state itself was in on this. Like this was a statewide thing that just was placed in New Orleans. So that level of attraction, love, everybody was going to be in on a team like that because they were going to have the biggest stadium in the world, and it was going to be here in New Orleans. So that was going to be here to stay. Like you weren't going to lose that. You look at the Pelicans on the other hand, that's no state of the art. That's no revelation of a stadium. That's a building. Like you go in there, it's like I've seen high schools that look better than this, especially in Texas, right? Like there's high schools that look better than this. Like what does that say about what you actually like as a basketball fan? Like the organization doesn't really care, so why should I?
Hey, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to talk about them seats. Like
what? Go ahead, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Go ahead.
Them seats they too poor for me. You know what I'm saying? Like they reek poverty. I'm better than that. Don't do me like that.
Do you know why they exist?
Talk to me.
Do you know why they exist? Anybody?
No.
The different color seats are supposed to play a trick on the mind when they had like HD, right? Like it wasn't like standard definition, right? That's why they're in the Superdome, right? That's initially they were like the discolored seats because the NFL will black out the games because there weren't enough people in the seats. The Pelicans took that same theory and put it in the Smoothie King Center. But then by then, when it was created, it was already high def. So you could visually see somebody not in the seats. Right. So it makes it look worse than it actually is.
So that history there, I didn't know that. Lito, Chaz, and Five talked about the cultural element of it all, right? And what it means to connect to a city. I think about Memphis, for example. Memphis, they don't, while from an attendance perspective, it's not like their attendance is top 10 in the NBA. I mean, they might not even be top 15. They're probably in the lower, 20s or whatever. But it's cool to be a Grizzlies fan. You know what I mean? Like even like some of the players that are there that have been there matter, but there's a connection there between the people that are there marketing. They know who they're marketing to, for, why, when they're putting together these presentation videos, when they're doing these halftime shows, they know who they're selling to and they know why. Do you think, because I remember a time, it had to be a couple of years ago, to where you got an interesting call about your reaction to some jerseys. Would you like to share that story and what explain how that matters when we're talking about people feeling like, yo, like it's cool. Like I just saw the comment of somebody saying like, yo, I got ribbed in Walmart for buying a Pelicans umbrella. Like
That's sad. That's so
Stay
sad.
out the rain and get
Like,
real.
damn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so no, Chris, it wasn't the jerseys, dog. More so for me than the Jazzmatazz ass.
It was a commercial. It was a commercial, huh?
Commercial. Yeah,
Yeah.
And man, I like was just going off on Twitter, like just kind of like y'all disrespecting us, dog. Like y'all ain't keeping it 100 how we are. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, no disrespect to the North Shore, because this is not about fire, but y'all like the when I say North Shore, I'm saying Covington. Like y'all are Covington.
Slidell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, not Hammond. Hammond good with me.
I was like, that's the North Shore? I had to think just now.
That's damn good with me. But man, yeah, I was just going off, and man, and dude, he hollered at me and was just kind of like, man, I wanna get your take on like what it needs and like what they missing. I'm like, bro, a lot. Like a lot. And you know what's crazy to me? The people, and this is not a diss to anybody, but I'm gonna say this too. Shouts to Shanika Dabney Henderson.
Yep.
Shout out to her because she fucking cold. Her and all her team cold. And the Pelicans videographers, they fucking cold.
But she
like,
from the 7 ward though.
She from the 7 ward, but that's what I'm saying. She the only one I feel like. She the only feel like. Shout out to Brandon too, man. Be great.
Brandon.
Yeah.
He the only one you can literally see the influence in her power. Like I would like for I'm not going to say anybody's name, but let's say anybody in the front office, like I would like to get them to exude that to, like you talked about Memphis, like, bro, they took on the identity of the city. It was literally grit and grind. Like they made some shit to fit. Oh, we with that, bro. Like, hey, but look, I got a question for y'all. Because I was thinking about this, and you said 23 years and they're on par, but I'm like, and not to be we just podding, but if you draft a generational dude in this man you got, and it don't happen, when the fuck is gonna happen? Like when is gonna happen?
Well, that's another question, right? Like, what does it take for that to change? Shout out to Kendrick Perkins, who we talked about on a Sunday show a couple of weeks ago. Perk, came back and he did a good job in saying there are people there in the city that care and matter. They just need something to support. They need winning to support. I also think that there are people that maybe played for the Pelicans, similar to Perk before the Spaces, that had a perspective that wasn't necessarily accurate, and they've used their platform now to lie or to not really or to misremember, as Roger Clemens once said. Here's a quote from DeMarcus Cousins, and I want to go back to you, Chaz. So Boogie said earlier, I think around March, he said, I got a lot of love from New Orleans. I'm from Mobile, Alabama kid, right down the street from New Orleans. I got a lot of love there. But as far as the organization, I don't know when it comes to just staying healthy in that city. I'm not even going to say the city. I'm going to say the organization. From my experience, we were always a step kid to other things. We were a step kid to the Saints. It's an ownership group that owns both. New Orleans is really cool. They're very prideful about their Saints. I've experienced that. I've seen that growing up in that region. So I know how much love they have for the Saints. And being young in an organization when you're trying to compete with a team like the Saints, it's hard for the public to do. I think they're always that team that's like a step kid. Fob, my issue with that is that I think that players have to keep it like 100 in regards to their responsibility in that. Like players that that are stars, that stay in a market for a period of time, that win basketball games, that help start eras, they change that just as much. Like they make you come watch them. It's not just like the people are just like, we are just stuck here with the Saints and we are never leaving. Yeah, my loyalty is there, but if you're good and I see you right there and you got a product, I'm gonna come and support that. Boogie was in New Orleans for a year and a half, and basketball wise, he didn't even play a full season. So what could he actually saw to where he thought him just arriving was gonna change everything?
I don't know, man. I look at that situation like a scorn lover in a sense. Like, hey, it didn't work out. You know, you didn't get the money you thought you were going to get. You actually got more than you even got, you know, an offer from another team. But I think it's just a little bit bitter in a sense. But I like Boogie. I thought he was a really good player. If he doesn't go after that loose ball, we don't know what happens, right? Like, even being in the building, like, people went quiet. Because, like, dog, you just thought that team was going to be really good. They were on an incredible tear, and then he tears his Achilles. It was unfortunate, but there has to be some level of responsibility on these players when things like this continue to happen. But again, we're in a world where perception is reality. If things continue to happen someplace over and over, like, somebody has to take the blame, and usually it's going to fall on the organization, even if the players are, you know, working out or not working out. No matter what they do, the organization has to take a level of responsibility for that. You're muted, Chris.
Chaz, do you think players like, I mean, I know the talk has been over the past 6 years, it's been about Zion, and Zion was supposed to be a big part of that change. And even though he has attached himself to the city in a lot of ways.
Sock Passe.
But a guy like Trey Murphy, right? Trey he would like to be one of the people that helped change that narrative. I think, you know, but he doesn't have the talent or the attachment that Zion has, right? Do you think that simply let's just keep it at those two players? Mm-hmm. Do you think players like them drafting I said two, but we could add Queen and Fears, drafting a Derek Queen, drafting a Jeremiah Fears. Do you think those guys panning out almost alone can help build back up that equity towards, I mean, fuck the narrative, just the success meter changing?
I think the NBA more than other leagues, more than NFL, is a stars-driven league. I think I've seen some star qualities in Trey. I've seen some star qualities in Jeremiah Fears. So I think, you know, it goes into brand of basketball. I really don't believe there's no type of endearment that anyone can do, truthfully. Like Boogie Cousins, like you mentioned him earlier, he was one of my favorite players. But Boogie, we keeping it real, you was here for a cup of coffee. I don't even think you was here long enough to even, you know, cast that indictment on the organization. Whether I agree with you or not, you was here for a cup of coffee. And they tried to keep him. You turned down the money. You know what I'm saying? So I think for us, like with Treys, with the Jeremiah Fears, with the Derek Queens, those guys aren't like box office. And that's the most frustrating thing about a person like a Zion, even what happened with DeMarcus Cousins. Like the fan base was way more behind DeMarcus Cousins versus the support for Anthony Davis. Like, we believed in DeMarcus Cousins because he was box office. His style of play, he was tough. He was a dog, and he was a star. And just go back to the, you know, motherfuckers being, you know, dick riders, respectfully. He was a star somewhere else, and he came here and legitimized your team. You know what I'm saying? He made your team seem like a real team. Now you got to start from somewhere else. And I think, like, even let's say if the Pelicans became a version of the grit and grind Grizzlies, right? The fans lying. I ain't gonna lie. The fans lying, dog. Fans not gonna support that shit. Fans not gonna support it. Some might, but the casual fan, no. It's just not gonna happen because it has to be a medium. Grit and grind Grizzlies, they was boring as a motherfucker, right? And during that era, it was like cool, but you always knew that they never was gonna get over the hump. You always knew that when they faced like one of those elite teams, they was gonna fall off. Now, let's say this version of them now are maybe a higher upside grit and grind Grizzlies with Ja, right? They have attendance issues. And Atlanta with Trey, team went to the East Conference Finals. You got a box office player, exciting player. They have attendance issues, right? Because much like the Pelicans, how the Pelicans are going too far right with the type of fan base they want, them two teams going too far left. Like you got what CMG, Paper Route, motherfucker YSL, YFN. You don't know what you're getting when you go to these games. You don't know motherfuckers shooting dice, cutting hair. Like it's just too much. It's just too much, right? It's too much for me.
Even for me, hold on. Chaz, you don't like Killer Mike having a barbershop in the arena?
I think it was a little. It's a little Negro excessive. It's a little Negro excessive, right? It's a little Negro excessive. I think I'm not saying you got to put a motherfucking supercuts in there, but what I am saying is it's a bit heavy-handed, right? Even with Memphis, like they tried to have like the wrestling ring in there. Memphis has a legendary wrestling history, and it was just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucking strap right here, this dude, like it's too gangster, right? Like you got to reel it in a little bit so I can bring my wife and kids here. You know what I'm saying? So I think with the Pelicans, they gotta kind of shift to the right, to the left a little bit, but don't go all the way left to where you got a motherfucker making hot sausage patties in the fucking hallway. Like you ain't nobody saying do that. But when it comes to the players, man, like it's about box office stars. That's why I want a Shedeur Sanders. That's why I want a Cooper Flag. Irregardless, of course I want to win, but irregardless of how they play it, because they got a brand. They bring in, like, that's the reason why even colleges, a team like LSU or Tulane, certain college, or even when you look at the WNBA, they be like, how is women's basketball in college so popular, but the WNBA isn't? I think because they got it's an alma mater. They got a built-in nuclear foundational fan base, whereas NBA teams don't necessarily have that, especially if you ain't never won. Look at the Rams in Los Angeles. They ain't really got no fans. The Raiders, they've been moved 3-4 times. Oakland, Vegas, Los Angeles, Oakland. I think when teams don't win, I just think it makes it very hard for them to attract a casual fan base, irregardless of what they do or who's the face of it. You got to win. Like, I really think you got to win. And you got to be entertaining.
See, the other part of that, right? I think about soccer and soccer overseas. Like these teams don't move; they stay where they are. For I think they've been playing that game with 100+ years, and like their fan base is stuck. Like you're born into it, and you have to move like that. The fact that NBA teams and other teams and professional teams are so mobile, it actually it dilutes your fandom. Unlike a player. Right, LeBron can go from team to team to team, and his fans will follow him. But you're talking about a team going from city to city. No, that has to reflect the city that they're in. It has to be a foundational piece. And if you don't, even again, the Pelicans are in New Orleans. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way. When you go in there, it doesn't feel very New Orleans-esque. It doesn't, bro. We've met. Chris introduced me to a dude once. Introduced me to a Pelicans official, right? Let's just say that. He introduced me to a Pelicans official for the first time. It was like, and the dude wasn't very New Orleans-esque or Louisiana-esque. And I was taken aback. Like, dog, you're supposed to be representing this organization at all turns. Anybody you come in contact with should feel like, yo, this dude cares about this interaction. And you don't. Because if you go on the streets of New Orleans, you go to the streets of any city in Louisiana, dog, you can walk by a random person and end up having a 15-minute conversation about nothing. But you will leave that conversation like, dang, I'm going to remember that. That's the thing that they're missing. They're missing the people. That's the people. That's the thing that matters. And all of this is not necessarily just the city. It's more so the people.
Hey man, and to co-sign on that, it's funny because dog, me and Five, like I call him on some random shit, and it'll be a 2-hour conversation, just like all some like just some what are we talking about? But I was gonna piggyback off what Chad said about Boogie. The thing, in my personal opinion, like seeing it in person, the thing that made Boogie special to the city was he immediately like tapped in. He started
with the Hennessy.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't see AD on the float before he pulled up. Like, Boogie was as long as players been here, Boogie was the only one to start using hot boy shit with, you know what I'm saying, the Pelicans merch.
He had the sweatshirt with he had the hoodie, huh?
Yeah. He was the first one to do it. And it's like, it ain't hard to be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with him. He fuck with us. Like, it's nothing that's simple.
Man. Yeah. And it's like, you know, and no disrespect to any players or former players who have bought in, but when you just talk about like casual fans, like I might think I'm not thinking somebody random. I don't want to disrespect nobody. But I might think Alberto Del Rio is a hell of a wrestler, right? Or I might think he can really wrestle. Like, you know, I'm just thinking about like a casual fan, but it's like he ain't The Rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't Stone Cold. So, you ain't, it just is what it is sometimes. So sometimes it don't matter how much a person buys into the team in the city. The city gotta want you back. Like the casual people gotta want you back. People wanted Boogie Cousins here with the team, but ain't no disrespect to Norris Cole. It didn't matter what Norris Cole did. It just didn't matter. No disrespect to him. Shout out to Norris Cole. Here's some big shots.
There's some disrespect coming afterwards.
I'm just trying to think of somebody. I was like Norris Cole, but it just sometimes it don't matter. And I think with the Pelicans, like, you got to question Zion loyalty. Not even just loyalty, motherfucker. You got to question if he gonna be in the building. Is he even gonna play? If I drive way from motherfucking the east or something to go see the Pelicans, I need to know you on the court, brother. Like, I need to know what's happening here. So there's that element, and it's like nobody really, no disrespect, nobody really care like about what nobody else got going. Nobody else really got going on. Like, talk about it. Like
Lito, real quick before we go to commercial break, can you tell me the 4 players that were on that hoodie that Boogie dropped? I haven't looked it up, but I think I remember. I want to know if you remember.
I think it was him, AD, Rondo, and Drew.
That why I feel like Nico? Nico couldn't have been on there.
He came on the team. He joined the team after Boogie got hurt. They traded for him after Boogie got hurt.
Yeah. What I remember, I think it was a magazine? Somebody put out something that had Nico on a cover, but it was like animated. It was redoing doing the Hot Boy joint, but they had crazy. Nico on there. Like, whatever. All right. Well, look, man. Let me
Nico, man.
Yeah, shout out to Nico, man. Wherever he at right now. Quick word for Company Burger, man, and we will tell you guys what Zion Williamson has to do from here to help change a narrative, turn the Pelicans around, or is it too late?
Company Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media.
Milkshakes to go.
Well, I was thinking about how, like, how some places it just ain't nothing you can do to convince you to go. like Company Burger fire, but think like Wendy's, like, right? Think of Wendy's like, come on, 2 for 1. Like,
a day single.
They're like, come on, we black owned.
Got these Junior Bacons in here.
Yeah, like, that was since Dave died.
Straight, what is trash, man.
So let's talk Zion here, man, because Chad said it. Zion being box office, and I do think that matters. I think anytime you have a talent like that, and now it feels like we're over the design want to be in New Orleans and all. Like, we're not really talking about that anymore. I don't think it matters anymore. Honestly, part of that is just time, just doing what time does, and part of that is what he's been able to produce, whether it be on or off the floor. Five, I want to ask you: is it too late for Zion to change anything if we're talking about a perspective or a reputation or starting a new era? And if it's not too late, outside of him playing games, what exactly does he have to do?
I don't think he should care about the perspective anymore. It's too late for that. If anything, just hoop. Whatever you got to do to hoop and hoop consistently. I've never really cared what he's done off the court. I don't care that if he would post a video of him dribbling a basketball during the summer, because to be honest, that's not really going to tell me anything until day one and they're playing a real NBA game. But for him, it's just really getting on the court, staying on the court, and winning. We always associate with just him just being on the court. We had to truly set the bar a little bit higher for him. Like, nah, dog, you got to win. I don't care about, just getting out there anymore. Like, nah, you're a professional at this point. You figure that part out on your own, because I don't know if the team's going to help you. Yeah, I don't really care. Play basketball. You're getting paid to do that. Let's see you hoop. Let's see if you can be great at it.
Lito, what about you? Is it too late for Zion? And if it's not, what does he have to do to make a truthful change and impact this organization for something that we're talking about 5 years from now, something that people remember, right? Like, there's an element of memories, I think, as well, that plays when you're trying to build an organization or build some consistency, or really just swing some kind, swing a fan base, build like lifelong, kids right now that are watching that are 9 to 10 and say, yo, I remember when this happened. I was there for that. I remember, though. It didn't last long, but I remember I've been a fan ever since. What does Zion have to do for that moment to create itself, to where we're still talking about it years from now?
There was a clip a while ago where he was talking about, I think he was kind of asked this question, but it was a different manner of it. Really, all he needed to do was just be himself, the person that he was advertised to be.
Be Zion. Nobody can stop me when I'm Zion.
So why the fuck you need me to say something? You know who he is.
Well, I mean, Chaz, honestly, man, I think the best part about this offseason when it comes to Zion is that I think he is, and this dates back a little bit to last year, I think he is he's probably as most confident in who he is right now, no matter what you think about it. He's as confident in where he is right now as a professional or as a person than we've probably seen him. Mm-hmm. And I think that matters because you'll probably get somebody that you feel like isn't given as many PR related answers. You just talking to Zion Williamson. You're not talking to the machine. You're not talking to Jordan. You're not talking to his stepdad. You're not talking to anybody else. You're talking to him. Do you see that transformation happening? Because I think that's also important when you're trying to relate to somebody that live, wherever, in the 7th ward, the 9th ward, they live over east, they live like wherever. You gotta, they gotta feel like they can relate to you somehow. I think this offseason, I think it's kind of helping that just a little bit, regardless of of some of the stuff we laugh about and what people say. I think it's kind of helping them. Am I wrong for that?
Nah, no. I think I think
you could be honest.
I think you don't. What's the best? What's a good way to put it? I'm trying not to. Let's keep it real. Look, let's keep it real. Just because you're lonely, that don't mean you shouldn't watch the company you keep. Just like you don't want this, you know, what I said. You don't want high levels of negrosity surrounding you when you're already on thin ice in the NBA. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Just be smart. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to him. I hope, I ain't judging nobody. Do your thing, though. But all that to say, and I just gotta keep it real, dog, because this is an interesting subject. Being a person from the city on a real Zion, just even in the NBA, since he's not a very vocal person, people don't really have no reason to dislike him. Only thing people dislike about him is him not being available and not taking his career seriously. People want to believe. See, when you're a motherfucker like that, half the job is done. You just got to show up to work. You show up to work, people gonna give you all the benefit of the doubt. They're like, oh, yeah, when he's healthy, he's this. Now, if he was a fucking scrub, or if he was like Ja talk big shit, people praying on your downfall. With him, nobody praying on his downfall. People kind of feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm not comparing him to this person, but the situations are similar just in reality. Right? You saw Brittany, what's her name? Ryan? How you say her last name? Brittany Renner. Fine hoe, right? So you big fine motherfucker. So you see her, it don't matter what this hoe do, right? It just don't matter. Cause she know that when she put them lashes on, them clear heels on, she gonna go. She know she gonna, all she gonna catch a fish. She know all she gotta do is show up, and she gonna get, she show up scantily clad. She can have on her Sunday's best. Somebody gonna choose upon. What's that?
Chad, real quick. What do clear heels represent?
Oh, that's a working girl heels. That's a working girl. That's somebody on the track and no looking back.
Like, well, when you say working girl, like she work at AT&T, or I mean,
she might
work at Willie Mae. Like what she work? She
might work near an ATM. She work now. Somebody you might find on Chef. Now I'm gonna say Brittany is a little more high quality. You might not find Brittany on Chef. Brittany ain't working on no back lots. She ain't no lot miser. Bitch like that. That's when you go to Vegas and they got the card in the hotel. Like, call this number if you
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Just
all I'm gonna say is she from Mississippi. So
oh yeah, from Mr. Get Down. Oh yeah, she ain't turning down nothing but her collar. Yeah, a bitch like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she come with bad bitch baggage, but at the same time, she know you're like, oh. So Zion as a player, when he healthy, he knows box office. I'm cold. All I gotta do is show up to work, sit there right there. Y'all remember when Zion came back and went on the church tour? I said, oh,
yeah. That joke was crazy, dog.
The church tour. I said, oh no. Like he know you fucked up when you doing some shit like that. But all that to say, the brother know that all I gotta do is show up and do my thing, and people go, the narrative is gonna shift. Like he just know. Like Brittany, she looking bad right now because of the PJ contract. I mean, situation. Shout out to PJ, got that contract extension. Cancel that hoe. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now it's 22,000 in this son account. You know what I'm saying? Double that. But yeah, so all that to say, Zion just got to show up. Half the work is done. People want to believe in him. People want to, support him. He just got to do his. He just got to pull his own weight. No pun intended. Hold up his end of the bargain.
Most first-game player in history.
Yeah, David, I think I pulled up the wrong comment. This is an educational show. This is the beginning of September. We are out of topic show, and sometimes this is just what happens. This is football season is actually about to start kind of show, but you also get some education for you. Like there were many things that you can learn from. You learned certain places you can go to find certain things you're looking for, certain assets you can use to find those things, what they look like, what they may wear. These are things that maybe either you can use for yourself or you can pass over to another O'Connor in the family.
You
there
might
you go. And it's free too. Go ahead, Fob.
This is it is free, but not that. You might have to pay for that.
Yeah,
especially she, she illicit herself. She a chameleon, if you will. She was Muslim 3 weeks ago, and now she's back.
And married to Gates.
This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this. She might be a shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter.
Shang Tsung. That might be it.
Like that. Y'all got any other? Y'all got? Yep. Has any Quincy?
Yeah, we go.
Has anybody seen Zion? We have
quite a bit.
We have.
Quite a bit.
We just saw a picture earlier today. He looked like he's in great shape. He looked like he's like he ready to play. So that's something else that's positive. I don't know if y'all brothers heard anything about the team scheduled or organized workouts. Have not seen him dribble a basketball, but I'll be honest, like at this point,
care about that?
Do I really care? Like I really don't know. I stand by this, that it's this season or never. Brandon's gone. Shout out to BI. He got some leveling up that he's doing. He's doing over there. Recovered now, can play. Going into his first season with Toronto and everything. But BI is gone.
Like
there's
he going through Memphis. Seems like he traveled up
little
good barbecue.
Little glow up there.
We gotta pray for Jose.
Huh?
No, that was a double entendre. That's nuts.
Yeah. Go ahead. You were saying the brother doing this thing. He blessed and highly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, this the year, Lito. This the year, right? If not now, when?
That's what I'm.
I've never seen, because I'll say I've never seen this many pictures of Zion outside in 1 year. I've never in 1 year, in an off season in total. I've seen enough pictures of him outside to know that he's outside, and I see that he in shape to also know that he's inside. So he's doing something. He's doing something that he's supposed to be doing. No Brandon, like this the year, huh? Right? Go ahead, Lito. Say it. He won the MVP. Say it now. Go ahead.
I got so much negative data that I can't even tell you that. Like I don't put my hope. I can't put my hopes in dog. Like he gotta literally. I don't know. He gotta show up. He just gotta show up and show it. I have no more. Like he not Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Like he not coming around every year. There's no list to check off. It's like, bro, I don't know. Like they told me how good you was. I see it sometime, but I don't know. If you really him? I don't. It don't seem like you want to be him.
Go ahead, Bob. You muted, Bob.
You still muted.
His mic.
They got him.
You good?
They got him.
I just need Zion to know that the streets are dead. The streets are dead. If you've been watching the internet lately, seems like people be on the phone all the time in jail. I didn't even know they had phones like this. I didn't know you had unlimited nights and weekends in jail.
When you're rich,
because apparently you could talk to anybody. And then you could talk to them so freely that you forget that, hey, this is being recorded.
These calls recorded.
They say it every 5 minutes. They say it on the phone. But you keep talking.
Oh damn, Rash Richard. But so speaking of that, speaking of snitching, but I think
wow. Wait, hey. What?
God damn, Rash Richard.
Hey man.
But I think
any of you boys know I can find some marijuana?
Yeah. You guys got any grass? But I think for dude, I look at it two ways, right? Like for one, I'm like, for one, you're not very brand conscious if you're Zion. But for two, one thing I will say, there's the NBA, the Pelicans, and Mike the
My bad, Chad. My bad.
Like, I remember niggas say, "Hey, you guys still committing the murders?" God damn. But no, what I was saying was, look, the NBA, the Pelicans, and just the Jordan brand, etc. They got more resources than we could possibly imagine, though, and they ain't gotta look far to find out what a motherfucker doing, especially if they think a person's up to no good. So that's if that should help give you some peace of mind, right? Not to say that he is or ain't up to no good, but that should. But I also think some dudes are more influencer driven, some ain't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some recognize branding and design them up a bare minimum motherfucker. Look, I gotta show up. Y'all know what it is. These are bare minimum. Like, I show up, bam. You know, it just is what it is. Whereas some people, like, they got to show themselves in the gym working on the game, hitting threes, because they're not going to be gifted with the opportunities that the number one pick was gifted. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be just like Harold. Like, even there's people who hate on Ant and be like, oh, Ant ain't shit, or Ant ain't. I'm crazy to the point where he constantly having to prove himself as a player. That's crazy. Ant can't dunk no more. Oh, Ant, that's bullshit, right? Oh, and like, you know, even with content town and eating too much Popeyes. Like, what? Like, man, shut up. Like, come on, man. This dude, so I mean, sometimes you gotta let a young rich person do their thing, but the fact that he does appear to be in shape and he ain't got arrested yet, that should give you some peace of mind.
Shout out to not getting arrested.
Yeah, dog.
Let's we got a new commercial here that we got to drop, of course. Y'all know the brand when y'all see it, and then we go get to these start questions and get all 387 of y'all out of here, man. Shout out to y'all, man, that's pulling up here on this random Wednesday night.
Hey, you dropped your wallet. And this just in, attorney Scott Vicknair was seen chasing an ambulance. Wow.
For real?
But that's David Vicknair, not Scott.
I'm still confused.
Ambulance chaser?
Hey, you dropped your mom?
My wallet. Oh, thanks, Dave.
Shout out to Scott Vicknair, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
That's creative.
I just want to say these commercials have come a long way. They are getting better and better. So please, man, they fight for the win. And look, they'll fight for your wallet if you drop it, you know, obviously. So, all right, let's get to these star questions and get up out of some of these super chats, man. We showed Michael Morgan love earlier, but you know, appreciate once again, man. You know what I mean? 504, man, dropping a 10 piece, man. Appreciate you, my dog. Chaz, this for you. Cajun Curveball is not happy. He say Ravens fan. Now I gotta strike you, son. Lamar is a playoff fraud, regular season quarterback. Come January, he a choke artist. He forget how to throw the ball.
You know what, Cajun Curveball, you could be right about all those things, but the Saints thing, get them just because. Nah, I'm gonna stall them out. The Saints passed on them twice, and I would take the 2-time MVP on my squad. You know what I'm saying? Dude's a hell of a player. Does a lot of great things in the community, and at least he's failing in the playoffs. Saints, season over. As soon as we play Arizona, fucking season gonna be over. So shout out to my brother Lamar Jackson doing his thing.
Gold jerseys and a gold end zone Sunday, 12 o'clock if y'all going to the game, man. All right. Yeah, Cole, y'all from New Orleans wearing brown Lakers jerseys to the game, man. I saw somebody at a Celtics game wearing a LeBron jersey. I was like, what are we doing? All right. Lito, this seemed like your your area here. Boogie to Freddie Gibbs of the NBA.
I don't like that.
Emotional.
I don't like that because that disrespect.
You don't like comparing him to Freddie Gibbs?
Nah, I don't like the comparison. I don't like the comparison in general. Like, you can't. I don't like the emotional. I don't like the emotion you put on it.
Take the emotional part out.
I don't like that.
Just take that part.
All right, take the
out.
emotional.
The
Take the
emotions out.
emotion. All right, take the emotion out. Is he the Freddie Gibbs? What? Okay, I need to know what are we considering Boogie Cousins? That's what I just need to know what the comparison is.
Is Boogie Cousin the Hall of Famer?
No,
But the way the NBA Hall of Fame is, he might be.
You get like let's say borderline, right? Let's just say borderline.
Yeah, borderline.
borderline.
Freddie Gibbs a Hall of Fame rapper?
Yes. Skill wise, by me, yes. But,
Skill wise, I think Boogie skill wise is the Hall of Famer.
man, Freddie last 5 joints they've been tough.
Yeah, but look at Boogie like in his prime.
Damn, that's crazy. With Boogie, you got to really end his career with the Pelicans. You can't count. It's like you can't really count
Nothing
Denver.
else.
You can't really count Golden State. It is. Damn.
Clippers, none of that.
I don't know, because to me, Boogie was a top 2 player at his position at one time. I don't really listen to a lot of Freddie Gibbs to know, but I would say like, damn, Boogie. God damn, dog.
Nah, I'm gonna say nah. I'm 504. I know you think you playing. I know you playing. Nah, cause like, Fred can rap, son.
Rap.
Like
And
rap.
Boogie can hoop.
But I'm talking about Fred still rapping.
I'm just saying.
Fred still rapping.
Probably think of somebody whose career was cut short early as a rapper, but had like he was in that top. I can't think of too many rappers.
As a rapper,
yeah.
I'm gonna say this. Yes, I agree. Flight. Boogie's start was hotter. He was on a different stratosphere.
Damn, Boogie.
You know, Alito, you know Freddie Gibbs' nickname?
He said Mac. That's a good one.
I don't know. What is his nickname?
Gangsta Gibbs.
That's one of them.
I thought he was gonna go somewhere else. That's why it was it.
It's another one. Don't worry about it.
Shout out to his baby mama from Hollywood.
Shout out to Guru.
Shout out to her.
Shout out my dog.
Denzel Allen. 5. Will B.I. be cheered when he returns?
Shit, ain't nobody gonna be in there. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, when they play, I don't even know when they played it. It's funny that it's so inconsequential. We didn't even like mark down that game as like a revenge game. Like, man, Pelicans be having so much shit going on with these players and
I don't think he returns to New Orleans until like March. And it's funny because when me and Lito looked at the schedule, we broke it down. I think CJ, if he's still in Washington, CJ's first game in New Orleans and Brandon's first game in Toronto are like they're like back to back, like 2 days apart.
Yeah.
So that
might be a good thing, honestly. For the Pelicans, stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, how shit go?
I think that's late in the year though, if I remember correctly. From Denzel again, Chaz, you still using the 2750 this season?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna keep Jarrell's legacy going, man. Shout out to the Curl King, Jarrell Curl, man. That's my dog. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Zal.
LP. Zion was in the streets of New Orleans throwing foes up. See, he met New Orleans Pelican for life, dog. That's all that was.
What throwing foes up mean? What throwing foes up mean, Chris?
It means that Joe is giving Zion the Boot Crew media accountability for forever. Yeah, y'all think that's an actual thing?
The Boot Crew media accountability?
No. Like Joe and Zion. Like y'all think that's a real thing?
I think so. Because Zion strikes me as a guy that's a little more easily influenceable. So if you get like the right influence, I'm talking about like I'm a real champion. I'm not like I was a top 5 player in my position. I got rings. I got rings as an executive. I got rings as a player, and I really control your NBA future. Because if you get cut, nobody giving you no big max contract again, and you ain't above getting cut around this bitch. I'm trying to think of a weird place to send them. I'm trying to, they got a team in Missouri. The NBA got a team in Missouri. Like you want to go to the Wizards with your partner? Like what you want to do? You want to go ahead and CJ? Like I can make it happen. I don't think Joe got no real attachment design like that. I just think he's trying to steer him in the right direction. His up design, you know.
Man, they talking like he like Joe is command from Scandal, man. Like what is it, B613 out here? All right, what else we got here? DC. Let me see. We got one more. We got up here. Zion respect the Coach K's of the world. He don't care about no Willie Green or no Danny DeVito Griff.
Damn, that's tough. Why you had to do that? What you had to add the end of that?
Griff look like Danny DeVito?
He do now.
Danny DeVito was about dog. That'd be a hell of an actor. Man, you know, shout out to Zion, man. You know, I think somebody asked me about this. I'm just like, bro, you gotta accept people who they are, man. Zion, you know, he Zion, like, you know, he like to be in the streets, man. He like them whores. It is what it is. The brother like to be in the streets. The brother like to, you know, hang around with the streets and the element. Let him do his thing. I don't give a fuck what he do. Show up and play basketball. Because if you don't show up and play basketball, I don't give a fuck. And you working at every charity known to man. I don't want you out of here. So show up and play basketball.
And in the middle of the season had abortion controversy, multiple different women's situation controversies. There was a few other things that I'm not remembering, but it all happened within the same year. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody cares when they talk about him because he winning games. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Exactly. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Everybody will forget. Will forget or turn a blind eye towards all of this if you balling out and the Pelicans are winning games. Occasion curveball with the 499 here, man. See. Foes again. They be having Pels watch shows at the wrong iron and Pierre be there alone. Nobody there, just cheerleaders and people. Dog, look here. I swear to God, dog. If I walk into an establishment of any kind and I see a sad mascot and cheerleaders, I'm getting the fuck out of there. What are we doing? Is nobody else here?
Dog, and then it's like a big bar with like a lot of open space. So,
oh my God!
Oh, you confirm it? This is real.
Well, I'm confirming that the wrong iron exists. But I did hear some things through, you know, a person that used to put on some watch parties that the team was trying to circumvent their watch party by having their own and excluding them from what they had established already.
Heard those same things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's some petty fucks. Petty fucks, boy.
That's some freaky shit, man. I can't. You know how big a mascot is, like a mascot costume, bro. Like you just in that hot ass costume, just sitting there with these cheerleaders by yourself. Nobody find that weird. They sitting down, they standing up. What the fuck going on, man?
You see that rat? You seen that rat just got arrested at Chuck E. Cheese, huh?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think he came back. It was something like he's out on bail.
All right, man. Look, man. This was a good show, man. 40 people showed up. You know what I mean? Everybody learned something. You know what I mean? There's there was sponsorship love. You know, we got a new Scott Vicknair commercial. We got education of all sides. You know, from women to street,
not women.
Yeah. Yep. Don't worry about what else I was gonna say. Don't even worry about it. Until Sunday, we'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all be safe out here. Y'all enjoy the game tomorrow. Y'all enjoy y'all first Sunday. Afternoon of football. Don't worry about it. I'm getting out of here, man. For myself, for Lito, for Chad, for 5. See y'all Sunday, man.
Don't speak for me, brother.